Hey YouTube, petey twofinger here with an update. Gonna be dropping a new album early this year, and it's not. This has nothing to do with the recording process that's gonna happen in early 2020. Typically, January 7th is when I will start setting up. And laying down tracks. So that new album, all original stuff is going to be happening. It's Orphans. I think this is my 10th solo CD if I count the double albums as two. Like I had one that was 33 songs that were just demos, and I called that Analog Orphans because they were not recorded digitally at all. They were recorded on 4-track recorder with tape or Tascam 48, which is half-inch reel-to-reel big tape, wide half-inch, that has 8 tracks. Not an 8-track where you plug it in your truck. This is an 8-track multi-track recording deck. Expensive, half-inch analog tape. So that was Analog Orphans. Like I said, this is at least the 10th solo CD, and I had that Analog Orphan one. That was like maybe 98. These are demos recorded from, I want to say Y2K is probably there's like maybe one thing that goes that far back. And then everything else is recorded up to 2016. And after that, we're familiar with my minor technical difficulties, which is on YouTube. And the one I did last year, the double album, digitally delayed. So the new one is actually old. And basically this story of how it came about, I found a CD on Thanksgiving. We were heading down south to visit with my brother, and my mom lives down there, and it's a long ride. And I had burned this disc in 2016. It said Xmix mix, and typically around Thanksgiving or Christmas, in between there, I'm always burning DVDs for people, burning music disc compilations, Christmas music, and I give that out to relatives. And typically you don't hear anything back. It's like, on a couple occasions I had people like flip out and really love. Because I try to do special stuff. If I'm going to give you a DVD, it might be like Eraserhead. Like, a lot of people that I know don't even know what that is. So me really digging it, I'm like, I gotta turn you on to this, something like Buffalo 66. I blew this guy's mind with that movie. And then I gave it out to other people that never said anything back. So ultimately, after like putting all this pressure on myself and my systems to burn all this stuff and like being late every time, like my wife's like, we gotta go. And I'm like, there's 20 minutes left on this disc, and so she kind of put it to me, and then me feeling like, I'm going to all of this hassle, and people are telling me, no, I never watched it. It sat in a pile, and then I think my wife threw it out. Which means, no, you don't think your wife threw it out. You told her to throw it out because you didn't want to watch Eraserhead, So I stopped doing that. And this last one, the 2016 mix disc, was for myself because we had a long way to go and I wanted to hear the mixes in a car because it's a good place to listen to them and judge how good of a job you're doing with your mixing and mastering. So I kind of put it together as one piece where everything flows together. There's no breaks. And listening to it again, hearing all the stuff that I recorded and never did anything with it, I really enjoyed it. I was like, this is so good. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put together a video for it and upload it to the channel as an album. Because as it is, it's just some demo recordings, but I enjoyed it to the point where I'm like, there's no reason this shouldn't be. You know, I mean, it's as it is, it's 2016 Xmas mix, and it's like that's ridiculous. This is an album, is what it is. So about half of it is music that's made without the aid of stringed instruments. So it's music made with a mouse. Some of it is using a QWERTY keyboard as a music keyboard, and some of it actually uses a MIDI keyboard. There's some loop-based music, sample-based music, and effect-based music. And then the last half is guitar stuff. So if you're a fan of what I do, some of the stuff's going to be familiar, but there's some like cool deep cuts and stuff. I can't tell you how much I got off of listening to it. So when I went out to do the video, I found that I had done a video, and it was titled 54 because it was 54 minutes long. But I had done basically the whole thing was kaleidoscope. It was just a kaleidoscope effect, and it didn't really turn out that well. It was kind of grainy and blocky. It didn't look that great. And at 54 minutes of just stuff spinning around, you know, I realized quickly that nobody's going to want to see this. So the new version is called Honky Paradise, and I'm doing my best. I'm still working on the video. You know, every time you render one, which takes a massive long time if you're doing it in 720 or 1080. This is 720. I mean, the source footage is really poor quality in a lot of this stuff, so there's no reason to kid yourself. But like I said, it takes a massive amount of time, usually a couple hours, to try to render something like this. And then you watch it and you start seeing all these mistakes that you didn't catch in the preview window, because the preview window is kind of really low resolution. Anyway, it's just a process of kind of really fighting to fix all these errors. And the bummer part of it is I realize that YouTube, most people aren't like, I'm going to go on YouTube and watch this guy's hour-long album of demos. Like, that's not YouTube. So am I going to break it up into each, piece and then throw a piece up and do a couple videos, black and white, where I talk, and then throw another one up? Well, I never really set out to be Joe YouTube, and I kind of really don't care about views and thumbs up and thumbs down so much. I don't like being randomly attacked when people don't even watch what I do. And especially if the people that are attacking me, I go to their channel and they don't even have a single original song uploaded. Or like me, I build gear like nothing. You're just there with a guitar that maybe you threw some pickups in and maybe you're kind of skronking on it a little bit. But if you're a guy like that's thumbing every one of my videos down without watching me, that's going to get my goat. Because it's not legitimate criticism. But at the same turn of the screw, I'm not going to, like, this is a piece, it's an entire thing. I'm going to watch the whole thing. And I'm doing it for me. I could care less about any of that. Which is why, like, I didn't even put up timestamps on for the other ones for a while. And I mean, I guess I will do that for myself, but trust me, I'm not doing it for anybody else. And I could care less if you like my stuff or not. I like it. I love listening to the fruits of my labors. And I love it to the point where I think, gee, I bet other people would dig this too. I realize not everybody has the same kind of taste. Music is really subjective, so of course, I gotta be realistic about it. But I'm feeling really strong about this thing. It's not gonna negate me doing what I normally do in January of every year with a real legit album. Like I said, this is a collection of demos, so the quality of the recordings is all over the place. Two of the songs I did on Macintosh with GarageBand, and I thought, well, gee, I'm not going to have to mess around. It should just come out like mastered really well. And they do sound identical, but comparing those pieces to what I do on my PC system, whoo, I had to do some EQing and leveling. And it's just a lack of dynamic range and kind of clarity with the Mac, which was really surprising to me. But who knows who knew? I didn't do any in the box mastering on the Mac on that, and I do on the PC. And I do boost the high end, not the hiss, the air, but. So yeah, we're getting into like crazy production notes, and this video is getting too long. You'll see some of our friend, rest in peace, Augustus, is in this. I used to feature him in all the videos, and it was just tear-jerking for me to work on it. But you also see Kita. Kita's in it. And I really tried to eliminate anything that seemed repetitive and keep it exciting. Keep it... Because this one is... it's not a concept album. Honky Paradise is a line from a movie called Omega Man, which there was the original black and white movie with Vincent Price called The Last Man on Earth. It's a William Matheson, I think, novel. And they made an I Am Legend Will Smith movie where Mike Patton did the zombie effects. In the first movie, they're kind of like vampires. It's post-nuclear war. There's one guy left, and then everyone else is like vampires. The second movie, they're kind of like a hippie cult. Like they have robes, and they're like, he who useth the wheel must perish. Like they don't like any technology. And then the third one with Will Smith it's zombies, and there's actually zombie rats in a lab experiment, and Mike Patton did the way over the top like 5 1/4 octave vocal range on these rats. And when I saw that in a theater, I just burst out laughing at that moment. But there's a line in Omega Man, and that's the Honky Paradise. That's where I took that. I saw the Omega Man on ABC TV, Sunday Night Movie of the Week, when I was young and impressionable. It was one of the first, legitimately kind of scary movies that I saw. And it was violent, it had gunplay in it, and I loved that movie. It's such a great story, and it's really well done. Not to take anything away from the Vincent Price movie. There's 3 of those movies, like I said, the Will Smith movies of Turkey. If you never saw all 3 of them, start with the Will Smith one. Then go all the way back to the black and white Vincent Price Last Man on Earth, which it's on YouTube. And then you can check out the Omega Man and see for yourself the Honky Paradise. All right, you guys, enjoy.